Farm Bureau. Mississippi State wins 2 out of 3 this weekend. And, Coach, let's just kind of take it game by game and start with Dylan DeLucia on Thursday night, who gives you a complete game, throws 117 pitches in that ball game, didn't give up a single free pass, walk, or hit batter on that Thursday night. What can you say about his performance to kind of start the weekend?
Well, really, you couldn't have, dreamt it up any better than that, and just what the doctor ordered. I think for both us and State, where we feel a little shorthanded. Us had a couple injuries on the mound. John Gaddis and Jack Washburn, not pitching for us, and of course they've had their share of injuries on the mound as well. And that's what you hope on Friday night, that your starter's going to get you deep. You don't necessarily know if you don't throw you a complete game like that, and we haven't had one of those in a long, almost a year. Almost a year exactly to the date. But he was terrific, and we needed every bit of it.
And who knew at the time that one swing by Kevin Graham was going to be the difference in the ball game? And it was about kind of taking advantage of an opportunity, right? An error keeps the inning alive, and then you get the big swing and really make Mississippi State pay early in that game.
No, you're exactly right, and if I recall, I think both teams had 2 home runs. We just happened to have 2 guys on with one of our home runs. They had 2 solo shots, and both teams that seen some struggles offensively, but really rely on the home run. And again, like I said, we got one early with a couple guys on.
So game 2 on Friday night, about as dramatic a start to a game as you can have. Mississippi State with a solo home run in the top of the first, and you come back and go back to back to back in the bottom of the first inning, get another solo shot in the bottom of the second inning to go up 4-1. And yet Preston Johnson on the mound for Mississippi State was able to kind of weather that storm and hang around and give them 5 innings, and felt like that turned out to be a really big deal in the game.
It really was, and Preston's terrific and has had a great year for them. And Luke Hancock gets a big home run for them in the top of the first, and kind of silenced the crowd a little bit. But then Justin Bench gets the first pitch out of Preston Johnson's hand, hits a home run. 2 pitches later, Gonzo hits a home run. Next pitch, Elko hits a home run, and we're up 3-1. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of things in my career, but never seen anything like that. In the first inning, and as you mentioned, Peyton gets one in the second. But to Johnson's credit, and really to our demise, we didn't do much after that. We had a couple innings where we were a hit away from really maybe busting it open. But again, credit him, for getting off the field in those innings. And when you look up, it's 3-1, and we feel like we kind of squelched some opportunities there. And when we go to the bullpen, when we had a good day by Hunter Elliott. But when we go to the bullpen, I think we put 1-0 up, and then I want to say the 6th, 7th, and 8th, in those 3 innings, we give up 9 runs. And, some of it's our own doing, where we just don't make enough, good pitches. But the other part is, some really good at-bats by State, just, at bat after at bat, just keeping pressure on you. And not just with homers, but fouling off pitch with 2 strikes and being tough outs and competing and getting their base hits. And we just, for 3 innings in a row, we just could not get off the field.
You mentioned it a second ago, and I was actually going to go to that. Sometimes you don't know until a game's over and you look back and you go, what might have been? But it was, I guess, the second inning where you had second and third with 1 out, and then again in the 4th inning where you had bases loaded with 1 out, and back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. And that's maybe the difference in the ball game. One hit in either of those situations maybe changes everything.
Yeah, and that's what makes our game so great. And really, it happened right in the middle of our lineup, right? I think it's 3-4. I think it was Elko and Alderman both times. Yeah. And, which doesn't happen to them. I mentioned it not to put the blame on them. I mentioned it to where, those are our guys. And, sometimes it's, the pitcher's just making really good pitches and getting off. And sometimes it's, guys didn't have, as good as at bats. And, you don't know at that point, but boy, it would have been nice to extend that lead a little bit and maybe take a little wind out of their sails. But I think, the first, inning where, all the homers and all the drama happened, by the time we get to the 6th inning, that's, an hour and a half later, and they're still in the ball game.
And then game 3, another packed house, great crowd, great environment, and a really good ball game. You tie it up in the bottom of the 9th inning with the 2-run home run by Jacob Gonzalez, and the place is going crazy. And then Mississippi State ends up getting the big home run in the top of the 11th from Cumbus, and they hold on for the 7-6 win. I know a tough way to finish off that series in what was a pretty good baseball game.
Yeah, it was a great series and a great baseball game on Saturday. And huge home run by Gonzo there in the bottom of the 9th to tie it up left on left. And and again in that game, we had a couple opportunities where either make a play in the field or just move a runner with a guy at third base. Would have been nice. All those runs count. But again, credit them as well. They played really well, and 3 really close ball games that could have went either way. Great weekend by Cumbus. I mean, he was terrific and gave us fits the whole weekend. But big home run for them late to walk out of here with 2 out of 3.
So now you and your team find yourself in a position where you're battling for your postseason life, and that's not just the NCAA tournament, but even the SEC tournament, and that's not a position that you've been in very often. What do you say to your team in terms of kind of backs against the wall mentality for these final 4 weeks of the regular season?
Yeah, it's been the most asked question. What do you say to your team? One of the things that we've talked about is it'd be different if we were searching and didn't have any answers this year. We just struggled the entire year. We've struggled for the last 3 weeks plus, and so it's in us. It's in us to play good baseball. We played good baseball this weekend against a good team. Didn't play good enough. As we just went through all the stats and all the innings, we're a pitch away, we're a swing away, and we got to continue to fight. We got to continue to battle and believe in one another. But it's in us to play well. Now it's time to do it though. Now it's enough talk, and not that we've talked it. It's just at the end of the day, you are who you are, and this is where we this is our bed. We need to sleep in it now, and so we need to just play better, make some more pitches. We need to make some plays defensively, and then of course have some tougher at bats.
So a huge and challenging weekend coming up as you go on the road. But before that, you get to turn around and play the same team you just played 3 times over the weekend in Pearl on Tuesday night. Governor's Cup's always a big deal, and certainly to try and get a win against Mississippi State and some confidence going into the weekend, I'm assuming is a big deal for your ball club.
No doubt, and all the games are important, and certainly now where we are, and get another opportunity to play them down there, and it's always different down there, and it's a midweek challenge to get down there, but now we're playing a team that just beat us 2 out of 3, so obviously we're excited for the opportunity, but we both know enough about each other. Now it just comes down to who plays the best.
Mike, thanks as always for your time. We'll talk to you soon.